Welcome to Theater Crafts. I'm so glad you're with me today. So today we're going to solve a problem. Now, if you're watching this when I release it, it's wintertime. And I don't know about you, but my lips get dry. You're in rehearsal, you're at a sporting event, you're going about your day outside, doing sports, whatever, and you need lip balm. So we're going to create lip balm holders. So here's one, you see? You can attach it right to your bag, like your sports bag or your rehearsal bag, your briefcase, your purse, whatever. There we go. You can add some embellishments. I've got beads here. And then we've got this one here. And you can use any materials that you have around the house. And then, just embellish them. Tie them onto your bag and you're good to go. So today we're going to make lip balm holders. All right, let's get crafting. Okay, so let's take a closer look at these. I just think they're so cute. They're kind of fanciful, but they're practical because they can carry your lip balm when you go to like a rehearsal or you're just kind of going about your day. You can attach it to your backpack, your work bag, your rehearsal bag, and you can customize them to be any style that you'd like. Obviously, I have books on the other one. This one here, I've got musical theater. With the comedy and tragedy masks. But I love these. So let's take a look at the materials that are needed for this particular project. So it's in this one I'm using pinking shears. So these are the scissors with the zigzag. And your fabric, whatever fabric you choose for your particular style, and then felt to coordinate with that, and some pins that we're going to pin those together. And then I've got some beads and some cording, and that's just for the handle, and whatever trim you like that coordinates with your fabric. And a ruler, you need your hot glue gun, and you are going to need your pattern, and I'll talk about the pattern in just a moment. And then some temporary adhesive. And so let's talk about pattern here. Here is what I use for a pattern. I literally just cut it out, a random shape out of a piece of felt. But you see it's about 2 1/4 by, let's see, about, like a little over 7.5 inches long. And basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold up the bottom half. So what I did is I took my lip balm container and I put it up against the felt and kind of measured out the size that I wanted. And so when you're cutting your fabric, you really want to be aware of the pattern. So if you have a pattern, like a directional fabric, notice that I'm putting my pattern upside down, because once I flip it over, that comedy and tragedy mask will be right side up on the front. And I know it's a little hard to kind of figure out, but if you're worried about it, choose a non-directional pattern, and that will make it a little bit easier. So notice I've got the fabrics together and just cutting them out at the same time. Now I'm using pinking shears because it won't unravel as much, and you're not worried about the felt here. It's more the cotton fabric that would unravel, but it makes it so much easier if you're using pinking shears. So I'm just rough cutting here and getting all the way around, and then I'll kind of fine tune the top there. And notice the way I cut the top. You could cut that straight up and down. I just decided to make a little kind of decorative edge there. But whatever works for you. So yeah, just cutting this out, and then you've got your basic shape is all set there. So once I take these pins out, you'll see there is the fabric that is for the lip balm container. And so now we're going to put these together. Now, if you don't have an adhesive, you can certainly use something like a glue stick. I've done that before. This is a temporary fabric adhesive that's used for quilting, but you don't need to have that. I literally just spray a little bit on just to hold the two pieces together while I'm sewing. You can obviously pin them as well, but like I said, a glue stick would work just as well, and I've used that before too. And if you don't have a sewing machine, you could certainly sew this by hand. You could even glue these together, and it would certainly work just fine. So now I'm just pinning them together, and I'm going to take them to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew all the way around the outside. And here it is. I just did a straight stitch all the way around the outside. You could do a zigzag if you want, but a straight stitch works well as well. So now this is what I was saying about the directional pattern. So now folding it up, see, now it's right side up. And so then you'll take the top, just pinning it here, you'll take the top and fold that down. And see how it makes a kind of a cute little pocket. And I'm just pinning these together because I am going to go back to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew just at the top, just at the bottom there, right there. And then I'm also going to sew just down the sides. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine, take care of that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's all sewn together, and you see the top, and now we've got this little pocket where you can put your little lip balm in there, and it's big enough that you could put, you know, a couple of them in there, or you could put a little, you know, a little, I don't know, gum packet or something like that. But then I was looking at this fabric, and I thought this would be really cool. All these kind of little, they almost look like stars, and I thought, oh, let's put some kind of just some sparkles on that, just to kind of glam it up a little bit. And so basically what I'm just doing is I'm using my hot glue gun and a jewel picker and some rhinestones, and just putting some rhinestones on the different elements of the fabric that I thought might just kind of fancy it up a little bit. If you know me, you know I like the sparkle. Okay, and so I've added the rhinestones to both sides, and now I just thought it would be fun to add a little trim. And this is just basically to cover up the sewing at the top of that area. Of course, it covers up the masks, the comedy tragedy masks as well. You don't have to do this, obviously. I just thought it would add a little bit of movement to it as well. And so I'm just hot gluing it right along the front first, and then folding it over and gluing it along the back, just to kind of, like I said, cover that up. Of course, it covers up the jewels in the back too. Not my best choice, but I kind of like it. So with the body completely done, so now I'm just going to add a tie to it. So here I have some cording. You could certainly use anything. You could use even binder, you know, the notebook clips or something like a key ring. You can do that. It's totally up to you. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just putting the cording through a bead. You want to make sure the bead has a big enough hole so that you can get the cording through. You'll see I tried to get it through a smaller bead, but it didn't work. So I had to go to a larger bead for the second one. This is the smaller one that I tried to get it through, but it didn't work. So I chose a larger bead, and basically just putting the cording through that bead and then tying that off. Just gives kind of a little bit of glamour at the top there, really some visual interest as well. So I'm just going to tie the top there to the top of the bead, just double knot it there. And now I chose to knot it again at the top, but you could leave it open, so you could tie it onto your book bag, your binder, your rehearsal bag, your briefcase, whatever. And that way you have your lip balm wherever you go. And really that's it. Just cut off the excess, and that's it. How cute is this? Put your lip balm inside, and you are set to go. I love this. I just think it's so cute. There's the faces underneath. And here they are. Look at how sweet these are. They're totally different. You got the comedy, tragedy masks on the right there, the books on the left. You got the theater kind of images. And they're all totally different, and you can totally customize them to whatever your interests are. And add trim. This is a great way to use up the small pieces of trim that you may have left over. You see I added a little charm on the top of the one on the left there. So give this a try. If you do, please send me pictures so I can see. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's theater craft. I hope you enjoyed this craft, and I will see you next week. You have a great week, everybody. Bye.